Today I want to talk about retrospectives. A lot of you are familiar with the stages that Esther and Dana Larsen talked about in their wonderful book on retrospectives. And there are some wonderful techniques from, for example, Esther Darby, Diana Larsen. You can go on to funretrospectives.com. All sorts of wonderful techniques about how you set the stage, how you create the psychological safety by maybe agreeing that we're not going to do any finger pointing. Maybe also you need to consider other ways of improving psychological safety, which we'll talk about in another episode. Then you might gather some data, generate some insights, decide what to do next, and you might do a retrospective on the retrospective. And that's a pretty good way of doing a retrospective. What I prefer to see is a situation where improvements are actually happening. The key thing for me in retrospectives is you need to improve. There'll be some things within your control, within your influence, and my request is that you actually do that improvement within the retrospective itself. This is my unofficial advice. As a Scrum Dog trainer, that's not something to do because the retrospective is a time box. And so once you've done your usual 5 stages of a retrospective, you're good to go. My request though is that you actually do the improvement on the spot. Maybe you do some system modeling. Maybe you update your definition of done. Maybe you update your Kanban board, your workflow, your definition of workflow. Maybe you update what you need to learn. Maybe you need to reflect a bit more. Reflect on how you can be better as a team. Maybe you can do a little bit of team building, but do the improvement immediately within the retrospective. That's my request. The teams who do the improvements within the retrospective, that in my experience, they outperform other teams by at least 10x because things are actually getting better all of the time. And the one other thing you can do as well is ask your executives to take away some item that's beyond your control, beyond your influence, some improvement that you cannot actually make happen. Make sure you involve your executive, make sure that they help you to declutter workflows, processes and systems.